It's Healthy Tuesday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Obi Ajulu or Labisi Ubo, and with me are the ladies.
Good morning.
YK in the building.
Good morning. We're only three again, so I must always express my disapproval and disappointment when we're only three. Because we're not doing COVID
anymore.
So we should try to be four. But what am I going? I was going to gist about something and I've forgotten.
No, you can't forget the gist. Think about the gist.
Totally forgotten. Yes, I'm going off. I'll be off for the next 3 weeks. I'm going to see my grandchildren. It's understandable now.
YK, it's not fair. What you're doing to us is not fair.
I understand.
I understand, but it's not fair.
You will soon be a grandmother now.
Soon. I don't know about
Why are you rushing me?
The girl is just 11.
I don't understand.
Look, if she marries in the next 10
She actually wants to marry at 20. She told me.
How old are you when you got married?
In my middle 20s.
Okay. Please note, she didn't say the exact.
Yeah. Nobody says it on this table except Morayo and you. The rest of us just.
Please, let me just tell you, I don't know their ages. They haven't told me their ages. We have been here together for how many
We are
years?
nearing 40, don't worry.
You are not there at all.
No, we are nearing. Don't.
You are closer to 40 than 30, but you are not there. So I think Miriam is closer. That's why they meet them, because I will broadcast their age.
You exposed us. How you doing, Miriam?
I'm fine. The beginning of another month for, of course, first was yesterday. And your friendly neighborhood vulture advocate is here again with a message. So my message is, we know that vultures are nature's sanitation officers, we call them here, garbage collectors. They're also the cleanup crew. In fact, that's the title of my book, Vultures to the Rescue, the cleanup crew. So what vultures do is really to keep our environment clean. They're very important because they feed on carcasses and other waste. And when they do that, they protect us from getting sick. Because, wild animals, domestic animals will go in and feed on these carcasses. Some of our domestic animals will come home, pass on those diseases to us. But vultures are able to feed on these carcasses. And the way that God has made them, these diseases do not affect them, So we should try as much as possible to save vultures when we see them. Do not kill them for rituals. Do not use them. They are not evil birds. They are not a bad omen. They are important in our environment to keep us all healthy.
We don't have them this part of
I hardly see
Nigeria.
them.
I don't see them in the south, but I see them in the north.
Yes. I don't know if it's because of the topography, the geography, but there are here in the south. You actually see them here. There are some here. But yes, for me, growing up in the north, I see them a lot, especially when you go to the abattoir. You just see them just hovering around a lot. But recently, because of the decline in numbers, you don't even see them in most places that we used to see them.
So, growing up, I used to see them a lot in Asaba then, And I'm looking forward to the book. Let me read about vultures, and I will make a list of animals you need to demystify for us. So after vultures, you move on to owls. You just have a collection of those animals and help us with it. I'm doing good. I'm doing great. I have a lot of work on my
But
table.
we did ask you.
I'm asking myself now. Ask me.
How are you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm doing great. There's a lot of work on my table. I just set up this mentorship program that is going to be lasting for 10 weeks, starting from January 15th. So it's called the CARE Mentorship Program, Clarity for Assignments, Resourcefulness and Efficiency. And I'm going to be working young people one-on-one for a whole whooping 10 weeks so that they will learn how to be better at what they do and be successful. I know I've not blown yet, but if I wait till I get all my stories together, it wouldn't be. Let's be telling the stories, let's be helping people as we grow.
Yes.
And all that. That's what's
happening.
My
dog was killed.
Whoa.
My small dog was killed by the bigger dogs.
Why? What happened?
How?
You know how small people do? They like to show themselves. Small dogs are the same. They like to show themselves. And she'll be showing that. Those big. On Friday they just changed for her. At that time.
Oh, and she died.
But doesn't that scare you about
the
maybe
big dogs?
Smaller children as well?
No, smaller children are not going to go and beat the big dogs now.
But are they locked up in cages? Or?
They're not. They are normally very calm. But I think their heads just turned because she's
They
always
could be on their
them.
hit period too, you know,
I'm
how
just
we
worried.
get
She's
aggressive
always
when we're
attacking
about
them.
to.
I've been saying it. Penny stick,
that's
Pixie.
okay.
You are going to
Get in trouble someday.
get in trouble. I didn't know that it was going to be so
Oh, so
Yeah, it's so
soon.
sad.
serious.
So sorry about that. Are you planning like a burial for the dog?
No, she died at the vet.
Oh, okay, you rushed that to the vet.
All right.
On the operating
That's
table.
sad. Let's take a short break. When we come back, we take the newspaper reviews. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. Let's start with the nation. IG orders probe of siege to Odili's Abuja home. Depot owners raise petrol liter price by 9 naira. Buhari, Biden, others seek end to carbon emissions. Elumelu, we've trained 1.5 million young Africans. Fantastic. Minister, government owes 774,000 jobs beneficiaries 7.3 billion. Fracas at House of Assembly over Speaker's removal. 4 die in collapsed 22-story Ikoyi, Lagos building. Lawsuit begins Lassa treatment for kidney stones. Governors can't control PDP. Who has a story?
Yeah, so the Minister of State for Labor and Employment, Festus Keyamo, at the defense of his ministry's budget, was being asked questions by senators concerning the 774,000 jobs, you know, that were given. You remember those jobs for 3 months that were given 1,000 from each local government in every state. So the issue is that many of the beneficiaries are still being owed money. In fact, the amount is 7.3 billion naira that hasn't been paid to them yet. So in explaining, he said one of the things is that the banks, he said it's a bank issue. So one of the senators was saying that, like in his state, in Katsina State, some of the banks that they had written down for these beneficiaries to go and collect their money, they don't even have that branch in their state.
Wow.
The Minister for State tried to explain. He said that for accounting purposes and auditing purposes, they had to pick a particular
Commercial
bank.
banks?
Yes. But eventually they had gone and they've changed it so they're able to go to banks that are local to them. They also talked about, you know, well, for me, it's sad that this is something that is very closely handled by the federal government, and we still have issues of people not collecting their payments and not getting their payments. This should be done so seamlessly, you know, because
the money is
sort of
even
you're
small.
right there, you're involved, but they say that, well, it's with CBN, it's CBN that is supposed to send out these monies.
What do they
have
mean
been
by bank
approved,
issues?
and so
So
Just
the
painful.
IGP has ordered a probe into the raid on Justice Odili's house. They say the warrant was issued by a magistrate. They haven't told us who the magistrate was, because I read through it thinking I would see who the magistrate was. The police have denied it. DSF have denied it. Everybody, in fact, everybody has denied the raid.
Wow.
So it's by unknown government operatives, I guess.
unknown.
They got
Gunmen.
Unknown men.
unknown DSS.
Wow.
Anyway, they've all denied, and you know it's being condemned by a lot of senior advocates of Nigeria. Femi Falana, Yemi something. Let me get his name. Let me not say Yemi something. Yemi Akinsheye George. But that it's not done.
It's unacceptable,
It's
really.
it's
We should be able
unacceptable.
to have names to hold accountable for
And
things like this.
I mean, it's just amazing that everybody's denying the raid on her house.
Well, so lawsuit begins laser treatment for kidney stones. Lawsuit, that's the Lagos State University Teaching Hospital. They said they gained, once again led public institutions, health institutions, and successfully performed their first laser lithotripsy on October 28th. So this is like a non-surgical way of, getting out the kidney stones from the urinary tract infection, so they don't have to open you up to carry this out. They were able to do it, and it's been successful. And according to, I think I want to get his name, the professor of urology, is saying that the treatment will save patients the pain of going through surgery, and also it will cut down costs. So when you travel outside the country to carry out such, you know how much you're going to pay. And even compared to private hospitals, people who now go to lawsuit to carry out this will pay less than they would have paid in private hospitals. And he went further to advise that we should try as much as possible to drink about
Drink water.
3 to
3
4
liters.
3 liters
Plus.
every day, and ensure we stay away from salt. But I'm worried, you eat salt.
Yes.
How do you balance it? I
That's
know
a
you
whole-
drink water.
That's a whole lot of other conversation. But, yeah.
She's still
Anyway.
young.
Yeah, so she can eat salt, right? Okay, let's move on to the punch. Reps probe collapse of 1.89 billion Delta Steel community fumes. Outrage grows, raid team leader, whistleblower face police panel. International airfares rise as Naira crashes on IATA platform. 10 die as 21-story building collapses in Lagos. Designer warned of tragedy. About 40 workers were on site when the building came down, says eyewitness. Developer, engineers, clients, others trapped. Sanwo-Olu orders investigation. Olukoya suit. Fined blogger to publish guilt judgment, faces jail threats. Ogun issues 60-day ultimatum to unvaccinated residents. Plans office. Transport ban. EFCC picks up Obi Kobana, alleges money laundry, tax fraud. Amateku begins interstate patrols to tackle kidnapping orders. Monarch denies villagers killed customs men. Residents flee Ogun community. Fuel queues resurface in Nasarawa, Abuja, Niger. Marketers hike price. What do we have in the punch?
The residents of the Fagbon village in Yewa South, they fled their community because the custom allegedly the operatives of the customs raided there because 2 customs officers were killed. So they raided there. They burnt the house. They burnt houses. They raided the monarch's house as well. Burnt motorcycles.
Wow.
So the residents have fled. The customs are denying that it was them, that it was unknown. This country is full of
Unknown people, me.
Aliens from
Unknown
Mars.
everything.
So it is not them, but the residents are, have fled. Sha. They say it was people who the customs were looking for.
Smugglers? Or?
Yeah, smugglers. When they came in,
They started shooting. Yeah, I think it's still the same story we've been talking about, where some villagers now started asking the federal government to pay them some money in
I don't know if it's the same
compensation.
story.
Yeah,
I don't
it's
know if
almost the
it's
same story of smugglers, the NCS fighting smugglers and then killing people by mistake. Yeah. So, Miriam, which story?
Yes, so the High Court of Justice in the United Kingdom has ordered a blogger, Ms. Maureen Badejo, they said to begin publication of a summary judgment entered against her in favor of the founder of Mountain of Fire and Miracles Ministries International, Mr. Daniel Lukoya, and his wife, Folashade. So the court has ordered her to, that's the blogger, to pay £65,000 to the cleric and £35,000 to the wife in damages.
Wow.
And the verdict that was given to her, she needs to make sure she broadcasts it on all her channels, her YouTube, her Facebook, all her social media channels, where she had put the initial story that she was being sued for. And they said that failure to do that would mean that she's in contempt of the court and she'll be fined or locked up in jail. So we need to be careful what we put out there. There are consequences for everything. So if you're a blogger, you know, you're a whatever.
Verify your story.
Verify
She's in
your
England.
stories.
She's
Yes,
in
this is in
England.
England.
She will
We
pay the
pay.
price.
Wow.
She will pay the
When
price.
do we get to that point where we can have this instituted in Nigeria?
Yeah, then in Abuja, the chief of staff to the president, Professor Gambari, has said the State House Clinic would take care of the sitting. You know, they've done 21 billion naira budget for the State House. So the It's going to take care of the sitting president and visiting
And his deputy.
And
Visiting
visitors.
president.
and some staff of the State House.
Yes.
So I was listening to the radio today, and one of the commentators said, all the presidents coming here are sick.
Well,
And they are coming
maybe
for treatment.
like those who travel from their countries to other countries, maybe they will travel from their country to
To
ours.
Nigeria now, so maybe we should be expecting
It's a clinic, not a hospital, though.
Maybe it's a special.
we'll
We
be
don't
expecting
know.
the American government now, president now to come for treatment. But we'll continue the newspaper reviews after this break. Stay with us.
YK.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right back.
Come closer. A little bit more. Perfect. I have exciting news for you. You asked for it and you got it. Your favorite breakfast show, Your View, will be going to 2 hours. We're going to have in-depth analysis of the newspaper review and more conversations on the hot topics. The ladies of Your View and I will be stirring up our guests to get an in-depth into all the various topics, and you, our viewers, will have the opportunity to call in and share your views. After all, it's your view. Join us on Your View, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. for a fantastic conversation. Don't miss it.
At TVC Communications, we're all about our audience. Millions of viewers, listeners, and readers every day all around Nigeria.
Our 2 TV stations are among the most watched in Nigeria.
TVC News is our award-winning 24-hour national and international news channel headquartered here in Lagos, broadcasting live from our custom-built state-of-the-art news headquarters.
TVC, the top-rated family entertainment channel, is the place for fun, music, and information. With our breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria, the all-female chat show, Your View, the best soaps and dramas from Nolly, Bolly, and Hollywood, music and entertainment blast, courtesy E-Splash, and of course, award-winning news and current affairs. It is all here.
With news bureau and studios around the country and the ability to go live anywhere, anytime, we are first for breaking news in Nigeria. Awarded the NMMA TV Station of the Year, TVC News is the station of choice for news that is first, accurate, balanced, and reliable every time. TVC and TVC News watched by over 4.5 million people in Nigeria every day on terrestrial, DTH, DTT, OTT, and available to viewers in the UK on Sky TV. Watch all of our world-class programs on TV, online, and on our app. TVC and TVC News, the best entertainment and news for Nigeria on TV and online.
And when you can't watch us, listen to us. 102.3 Max FM Lagos and 90.9 Max FM Abuja are now ranked among the most listened to radio stations in Nigeria.
Now, with over 1.5 million listeners every day, we're the people's favorite radio station. Best hit music, best on-air talent. Max 102.3 hit music for Lagos and Max 90.9 hit music for Abuja. We are your home for that fun, entertainment, and hit music.
In Lagos, TVC, our leading family entertainment TV channel, has a 47% market share. But this is just the start of our journey as we plan to add even more services to entertain and inform our ever-growing audience. Thanks for being part of the TV.
Welcome back. So Miriam had another
Yes, so
story.
in Ogun State, the governor of Ogun State has issued a 60-day ultimatum to all unvaccinated residents of the state. He says that if within the 60-day window they do not get vaccinated and get their vaccination cards, they'll be unable to go into offices, schools, go to their market, get into taxis, get on keke. So he's giving everyone within the state 60 days to make sure that they get vaccinated. That's just the long and short of the story.
Does he have enough vaccination?
Oh, yes.
we
Okay,
have.
so he
Yeah,
says, he says he's moved the vaccination center. They used to have 131, and now they have 159. So they've even increased the number of centers.
That's fake vaccination centers. Do they have enough vaccines?
They
to
haven't
go
told
round.
us they don't have enough now. So let's start
So
the
just
vaccination.
start, go.
If it
and
stops
when it
somewhere,
stops,
then we
it will
know.
not be on them and not on you that you didn't
No,
go.
we've done something.
Yes.
So let's move on to the Vanguard. Plateau, embattled speaker, 10 loyalists arrested. Anambra, talks with IPOP crucial, says Soludo, Uba, Ozigbo. Nigeria's worst military regime, better than APC-led government, says Autumn. Editors urge government to create safe, enabling environment for journalists. Consultant ignored on collapsed 21-floor tower in Lagos. EFCC arrests Obi Kubana over money laundering. Pay our benefits, disengaged dock workers tell Intels. NSAS, panel orders police to release cops detained for 561 days. Court orders federal government to pay Delta $1.638 billion derivation arrears. Abiodun gives Ogun residents 60 days to get COVID-19 vaccine. We've taken that. New State House Clinic will take care of presidents visiting dignitaries and others. Gambari, we've taken that. We're in touch with security agencies to find Vanguard reporter Baja. What stories do we have in the Vanguard?
Okay, so in Plateau State, I remember I took a story of a speaker being impeached and another one being installed and the one being impeached, suspending the new one. So anyways, the the impeached speaker, Honorable Nuhu Abok Ayuba, went to the House about 6 a.m., they said, with about 11 other members, to have their meeting in his office. And they said while they were there, the other lawmakers who were suspended also found their way there, and things broke out before it degenerated into real fist fight. They said the security operatives arrived there and sort of calmed things down. Then they took an 8-man committee and they went to meet the governor, and they were there. And then while the other impeached speaker was still in the assembly with those 11 members that he was with, at about around 3 p.m., they said security operatives came and took them and put them into Hilux vans.
Wow.
Reporters were there and were asking questions. Even the member representing Lantang South was like, well, just know that they're taking us to an unknown destination. We don't know where we're going. They asked the speaker, are you being arrested? The speaker says, I cannot tell you if I'm being arrested, but I'm being taken away. So that is it on that matter. And of course, there are people on both sides of the divide who feel, who are loyalists to the impeached speaker and some on the other side. But they said that the police and security operatives had to use tear gas to, disperse people who were already coming together. They said they even alleged that some of them had weapons.
Wow.
Well, not weapons, like really, maybe like, what do you call them? Yes, like those sort of.
But what I want to know is, because they went to the governor, what is the concern of the governor with the House? This is what we're saying, that there is no
autonomy.
You have no business going to the governor. You are the speakers. You are even the lawmakers. What are you going to the governor to settle your fight for? Settle it inside the House now.
And move on. Anyway, the Lagos representatives of over 600 disengaged dock workers yesterday stormed Vanguard's corporate head office, protesting unpaid benefits by the Integrated Logistics Service Limited, Intels. They lamented that 20 of them had died while waiting for their terminal and other benefits. About 600 of them, they said they carried their placards, they were protesting and asking that the federal government does not give Intel any other contract if they don't settle them. So they said that, according to their spokesperson, said that they've worked with Steve Doring companies before their appointments were disengaged, and they started this work since 2005 to 2018 when they were disengaged, and yet there are no benefits that have been given to them, and most of them are dying. So they are asking that the federal government, waits into this, that they should not give Intel any other contract till they are paid. And I hope that the government should listen and hear them out and pay them their money. Let's move on to the Sun. Soludo and Uba fight dirty at Anambra Guba debate. Police arrest, release Plateau Speaker, 11 lawmakers, intervene and save democracy, embattle legislatures, beg Buhari. Residents protest. PDP ready to rescue Nigeria, Autumn. IGP orders probe into invasion of Odili's residence. Aviation handlers threaten strike over NAS embargo on the new NCAA rates. Editors task government on safe enabling environments for journalists. What story do we have?
So editors had what they call, they marked the International Day to End Impunity for Crimes Against Journalists today. And so the Nigerian Guild of Editors called on the Nigerian government, to make sure that it does everything to create an enabling environment for journalists to do their jobs. They have said that it's important that journalists do not feel as if they are being gagged, or else it would affect, how information and news is being disseminated. And they also made instances, they brought up instances where, journalists and journalism had sort of been attacked. They talked about the TVC, our premises that was burnt on the 21st of October last year. They talked about an Arise television cameraman that was attacked October 11th. There's also a Vanguard reporter who's been missing. He used to be attached to the, he was attached to the House of Reps. His name is Mr. Salem, and he hasn't been seen in a few weeks. So those are the things, that they brought up. Many things over the years that shows that, the environment is not really protective and enabling of journalists to do their jobs freely. So they're asking government to do better when it comes to that.
Okay, so domestic aviation group ground handlers are set to embark on an indefinite strike, which will be starting on November 5. According to them, it's over the reversal of the increase in cargo charges by the House of Representatives. So they are saying that the House has no, the House is not supposed to be involved when it comes to this, because they are trying to follow international best practices, and they have not changed this, they've not increased this cargo rate since for over 36 years now. They plan the first increment to happen for domestic aircrafts 1st of October, and then for international flights, they're going to be having, theirs will be starting January 1st. But right now, that's in 2022, but right now, the House of Reps is intervening in this, and it will not, according to them, they said they will not be able to face their international counterparts, because every airline charges is supposed to be in, there's this body that regulates what is obtainable across the world. And so it will make them look like Nigeria is a country that they don't take things seriously. So they should leave them to carry out their increments. Let's move on to, I think, our final paper for today, the Tribune, Nigerian Tribune. Special report, foreign exchange variation boosts CEO salary amid company's poor performance. The Tribune, the Nigerian Tribune. IGP orders probe of invasion of Abuja residence of Justice Odili. Obi Kobana in EFCC custody. YK will take that. 21 billion new state house clinic to care for visiting heads of state. Senators grill Kiyamo over allowance for beneficiaries of 774,000 jobs. I think that's all the story we have here today. Do we have any other story? Masop insists Anambra election must hold. Which story do we have?
I thought we had agreed you were taking the Kubana story.
Before I will get it out of here, okay, I've seen it. So the EFCC arrested a socialite, Ubina Iyebu. We know him as Obi Kobana, and he's being questioned right now, and he's at the commission's headquarters in Abuja. I think the details are not really, they're a bit sketchy, but I think it borders on money laundering. But by the time they are done, we'll likely get the full details. Picture. But he said when contacted, a spokesperson of the commission said he was even yet to be briefed on the issue. So he made headlines, it was viral, everybody was talking about it. Let them tell us exactly what they are.
The way the story reads is as if he went himself, not that they went to arrest him.
So maybe he was invited and he went.
Has arrested, though, that's what the paper said.
I know, but they said he got there. They didn't say he got there in handcuffs. They said he got there. So it's as if, the way I read it, it's as if he went there.
Yeah. Yes, we missed this one. It's a fuel queues back at fuel stations. But this is mostly, I think it's Abuja, Nasarawa, Niger State. They say black marketers, of course, are out on the road again selling fuel in jerry cans. And different people are claiming that it could be, they said the tank farm owners are hoarding fuel because it's almost the festive period. Some have said that they've increased the price from 149 to about 153, 155 per liter. So these are the reasons why. So it seems like it's a man-made scarcity. It's not real. So we'll see how
they
that
can sort out the issue.
I know diesel is going up every day.
Okay.
Every
story of
gas
another
is going
day.
up, diesel is going up. The only thing that has remained is petrol. So.
All right, thank you, ladies. That's all we can take on the newspaper reviews. When we come back, we take our hot topics. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
At TVC Communications, we're all about our audience. Millions of viewers, listeners, and readers every day all around Nigeria.
Our 2 TV stations are among the most watched in Nigeria.
TVC News is our award-winning 24-hour national and international news channel headquartered here in Lagos, broadcasting live from our custom-built state-of-the-art news headquarters.
TVC, the top-rated family entertainment channel, is the place for fun, music, and information. With our breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria, the all-female chat show, Your View, the best soaps and dramas from Nolly, Bolly, and Hollywood, music and entertainment blast, courtesy E-Splash, and of course, award-winning news and current affairs. It is all here.
With news bureau and studios around the country and the ability to go live anywhere, anytime, we are first for breaking news in Nigeria. Awarded the NMMA TV Station of the Year, TVC News is the station of choice for news that is first, accurate, balanced, and reliable every time. TVC and TVC News watched by over 4.5 million people in Nigeria every day on terrestrial, DTH, DTT, OTT, and available to viewers in the UK on Sky TV. Watch all of our world-class programs on TV, online, and on our app. TVC and TVC News, the best entertainment and news for Nigeria on TV and online.
And when you can't watch us, listen to us. 102.3 Max FM Lagos and 90.9 Max FM Abuja are now ranked among the most listened to radio stations in Nigeria.
Now, with over 1.5 million listeners every day, we're the people's favorite radio station. Best hit music, best on-air talent. Max 102.3 hit music for Lagos and Max 90.9 hit music for Abuja. We are your home for that fun, entertainment, and hit music.
In Lagos, TVC, our leading family entertainment TV channel, has a 47% market share. But this is just the start of our journey as we plan to add even more services to entertain and inform our ever-growing audience. Thanks for being part of the TVC communication story.
Kádàrá Allahu àkàkàjù.
Àwọn kan wà tí wọ́n bá kú tọ́jọ́ ọkú wọn ò tí ì pé
Is that how you're gonna say it?
bó ṣe wá kọ̀wé ránṣẹ́ yìí pé òun fẹ́ rí mi kájọ fojúkojú yìí kò yé èmi o.
bó ṣe pé ẹ̀rí rẹ̀ lẹ́kùnmọ́ àyà mi ti sọ kí.
torí kí ni.
àkọ́yẹ́ kọ́ mọ tó jẹ́rẹ̀ lẹ́kùnmọ́ lọ́mọ mú yẹn rí flashback jọ́ ẹ̀ kí ọmọ tó mọ ẹgbọ́n mọ́.
How would the makeup in progress? Makeup.
Check.
Are the scripts on the prompter? Script.
Check.
Are we set in the PCR? All team in place? PCR.
Check. Clock is ticking, time is racing, lights on. Plans all set. 120 minutes of hot entertainment. We are ready for the mission.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move way in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known.
Thanks for staying with us. Yesterday, a building located on Gerard Road, Ikoyi, collapsed with an unspecified number of persons trapped inside. However, 3 persons have been rescued, while the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, has so far confirmed 2 persons killed. This is quite sad. Hence, we'd love to hear your opinions on this. You can join us, but first of all, we'll have a guest join us on the show, a civil engineer, a corporate member of Nigerian Society of Engineers, NCE, and current registered civil structural engineer Abiodun Ariyo will be joining us shortly to have this conversation. But you can call us on 081-270-53-687 or 091-390-76948. Ladies, when you heard the story yesterday, how did you feel?
For me, it's like one too many in Lagos, in Nigeria. You hear more about it in Lagos. First of all, I want to just say something because we break the law a lot in Nigeria. Ikoyi, when the map of Ikoyi was made, all the buildings were one-story buildings. They were either bungalows or one-story buildings. There used to be a lot of trees. There used to be a lot of parks. Now it doesn't obtain. Now you have high-rise, and you see a lot of high-rise buildings. Now, I don't know, I'm not a structural engineer, I'm not an architect, but could it be that when they, because Ikoyi is very near the lagoon.
Is it the Atlantic?
No, it's the lagoon. I think it's Lagos Lagoon. The one beside Banana Island.
Okay.
It surrounds Ikoyi. Could it be that because the soil
not strong enough?
It's not strong enough. It's why, because it was Oyibo people that were living in Ikoyi in those days, Oyibo people and rich people. Could it be because the soil is not strong enough to
hold the high-rise
buildings? Is why, I don't know.
Yes, but if the plan was for a serene environment with just bungalows and one-story building, it's a no-brainer to add a high-rise building because that's the plan. I'm sure when they're making plans, they understand the soil that they want to work on. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
I think we'll leave that conversation to structural engineers.
Anyway.
But there was a letter that was going around as well where it showed that he had been working with consultants, engineering consultants, who were saying that they had sort of, washed their hands off of the project because they could not, they said their vision, the owner of the building and their vision was not the same. They were not sure of the integrity of the building beyond the first 4 floors that they had worked on. And I think they say most of the high-rise buildings in that area, I think it's the 14th floor, 15th floor that the government has approved. There's also another post going around, although for me, I think it's still unverified, where they said in July of 2000, that place had been sealed off by the Lagos State governor also because I think they were questioning the integrity of that building. So You know, it's very sad. A lot of people have lost their lives. When I heard this, I felt really sad for all the people who were working, you know, coming there to just earn a living, and here they were, and they got caught up in this rubble. But, you know, I kept asking, before a building of that magnitude falls, and there's signs that you see, and there are cracked walls, the people working on the site, are they not aware that what they are working on could, you know, potentially be a danger to them, you know? So those were some of the questions that I've asked, and I guess an engineer will help us answer those questions. Because the only times I've seen a building just out of nowhere fall is when you maybe put a dynamite on it, you know, and then they blow it up. Yeah, and then blow it up to bring it down.
No,
like when
there are buildings that have fallen in Lekki.
No, what I say, without what do you call
signs
without
or cracks
any
on the
signs
wall
or cracks over time that people are aware that this is a dangerous building. Sometimes we see those buildings tilting. So when it falls, we're like, yeah, it was obvious that this would not stay.
What I'm trying to say is when they're building, we've heard of one in Lekki, a couple, I think, in Lekki where they just collapsed, you know, because they are not making sure the structure and the foundation is not
enough to hold it.
Yes. You know, and you know, especially where there is swampy soil. My partner is an architect. You have to make sure that the foundation is the concrete you put into it to make sure that that building stays solid. It's serious concrete. So when the consultant that his name is Olawale or something, when he resigned from the job, he probably saw that the integrity was, you know,
was compromised. Or the foundation couldn't carry the height of that building.
And he told them and left. You know, we had a conversation yesterday where we were talking about we the people. They have given that no approval will be more than 15 stories in that area.
Yes.
Understanding that this is meant to be a serene area with just very low houses. And then you take it up to 21 stories. You break the law. And now while you were taking it up to 21 stories, you will not tell me that there were no officials who knew about this. They could have done something. They could have made noise. They could have sealed it up. They could have arrested the people who kept on going. We can't blame people for not noticing that the walls will fall or the building will fall, because most of the people working there are foot soldiers. They don't know. Yeah, needs to lay block, lay. So it's the direction that the engineers give to them that they work with. So how do we begin to hold ourselves? This is wickedness. How do we begin to hold ourselves responsible so that we don't have this kind of...
so there's no how a building of that nature, as high as it is, being erected, that government officials are not aware of it. So even if that person broke the law, he must have broken the law in connivance with people who had the access or who have the authority to be able to stop him or allow him to continue that building. So a lot of people right now who have to be questioned.
Yeah. They have to arrest them. They have to arrest the officials.
Yes.
Not just the owner of the building, but the officials who approved after they had said no more than 15 stories.
Yes.
Who approved it, who let it go, who turned their eyes. And this is my problem with Nigeria. A lot of government officials, they will give you money. Because I was discussing it with Mr. Musa the other day. They will give the contractor money to build a road, to make a road. Then you will collect
the money from
me
him.
And
the person who helped him get the contract, you have it cocked.
I will collect settlement.
Yes.
By the time everybody has collected settlement from this guy that's going to do the road,
there's no money
left to do the road. So, and that person that's doing the road too wants to make small money. It will do a bad road. So within 1 year, you start to notice potholes again. You know, so we are our own problem.
We are.
I'm coming out of the road today. This downfall crosses on the express, so crosses right in front of me when I'm trying to come out and stops. So I can't come out. Those ones in white and green will say, oh yeah, doing this, it's a lie, he wasn't going to do anything, he still left him there. So for me to maneuver out onto the express was so difficult because we make it difficult for each other.
The Punch, gave a report this morning saying that about 6 people died already, and about 50 persons were still trapped inside. I don't know what's happening right now. I'm even worried about these people that have lost their lives, and what's going to happen to them?
Well, you know, apart from the people who have lost their lives, we've talked about the integrity of that building. Maybe money's changed hands to allow that thing to stay there until it collapsed on people and killed people's fathers and brothers and family members. But then also there's the other part of the story, which is the emergency response. At the time I heard the story, it was being reported that it was 2 hours since the collapse and no one had come in, you know, so it was just people, well, you know, people who were bystanders who were trying to take it apart rubble by rubble. But so they finally came. So that's another thing we need to talk about. When buildings like that are being erected, what are the health and safety measures that are put around? And then when, you know, there's always a risk of a calamity like this happening. What are the where are the emergency units located that are closest to this place? It could have been a fire or something, yes, for easy access to places like this. So that's why when we think about, you know, urban planning and things like that, we have to always remember that every community needs to have like an emergency unit, a fire station, working. Not that when they call you, you say there's no fuel in the car, there's no water in our tank, you know. So it's important that emergency units understand that there's a time that they need to be there to start work.
Yeah,
but
let's quickly go on a break. When we come back, we'll get in our guest, the civil engineer, to help us understand this issue. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
At TVC Communications, we're all about our audience. Millions of viewers, listeners, and readers every day all around Nigeria.
Our 2 TV stations are among the most watched in Nigeria.
TVC News is our award-winning 24-hour national and international news channel headquartered here in Lagos, broadcasting live from our custom-built state-of-the-art news headquarters.
TVC, the top-rated family entertainment channel, is the place for fun, music, and information. With our breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria, the all-female chat show, Your View, the best soaps and dramas from Nolly, Bali, and Hollywood, music and entertainment blast, courtesy eSplash, and of course, award-winning news and current affairs. It is all here.
With news bureau and studios around the country and the ability to go live anywhere, anytime, we are first for breaking news in Nigeria. Awarded the NMMA TV Station of the Year, TVC News is the station of choice for news that is first, accurate, balanced, and reliable every time. TVC and TVC News watched by over 4.5 million people in Nigeria every day on terrestrial, DTH, DTT, OTT, and available to viewers in the UK on Sky TV. Watch all of our world-class programs on TV, online, and on our app. TVC and TVC News, the best entertainment and news for Nigeria on TV and online.
And when you can't watch us, listen to us. 102.3 Max FM Lagos and 90.9 Max FM Abuja are now ranked among the most listened to radio stations in Nigeria.
Now, with over 1.5 million listeners every day, we're the people's favorite radio station. Best hit music, best on-air talent. Max 102.3 hit music for Lagos and Max 90.9 hit music for Abuja. We are your home for that fun, entertainment, and hit music.
In Lagos, TVC, our leading family entertainment TV channel, has a 47% market share. But this is just the start of our journey as we plan to add even more services to entertain and inform our audience. Thanks for being part of the TVC Communications story.
Lọ́n fún mi, kádàrá aláwọ̀ àkàkàjù.
Àwọn kan wà tí wọ́n bá kú tọ́jọ́ ọkú wọn ò tí ì pé wọ́n á papòdà síbòmíì.
Is that how you gonna say it?
Kọ́jú wa sọ nìyẹn.
Bó ṣe wá kọ̀wé ránṣẹ́ yìí pé òun fẹ́ rí mi kájọ fojúkojú yìí kò yé èmi o.
Bó ṣe pé ẹ̀rí ẹ̀mí lẹ́kùn àyà mi sì sọ kí.
Torí kí ni?
Àkọ́yẹ́ kọ́ mọ̀ pé jẹ́rẹ̀ ẹ̀mí lẹ́kùn mọ́ yọmọ mú yẹn rí flashback jọ́ ìkí ọmọ tó mọ̀ ẹgbọ́n mọ́.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move way in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be. Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move way in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
Thanks for staying with us. Joining us on the show, like I mentioned earlier, is a civil engineer, Abiodun Ario, who would help us understand the issues, the collapse of the building, and what we can do to avoid having this sort of thing happen again. Welcome to the show, sir. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. So let's start with the Koyi building in particular.
Okay.
With that sort of building, what do you think could have caused that fall?
Yeah, first of all, it's an unfortunate incident, you know, and I sympathize with the families of those that are lost in that avoidable destruction.
Avoidable.
Yeah, it's avoidable because at the planning stage of every project, you get the competent and qualified professionals, you know, to handle the planning. They test the soil. Can it carry what you want to build on it? As in, the load carrying capacity of that soil will be tested. Then that will determine the kind of foundation you put on that soil. Mm-hmm. Then there's an agency in Lagos State, a building control agency. I think Lagos Building Control Agency. Yeah. Yes. You submit the papers to them. They check the drawings. They check the structural architectural drawings. Then, because they have engineers in their listing, they check them. So they now give you go ahead to continue that building. But they have to monitor as you are building too. You understand? Yes. Because somebody cannot give you an approval for 14 or 15-story buildings, and then you get to 21-story buildings, according to the report.
Yeah.
Some people, a lot of people have to answer some questions, even in Lagos State government, workers, government officials.
Yes.
You know, those people are developers. They want to make money. But you are there to checkmate them.
Okay. That's your job.
Yeah.
You don't make money at the detriment of other people that are working. And,
Thank you.
You understand?
Mr. Rio, my question also is, weren't there signs on the building to show that this may happen? Like for those who are working in the building, the set clients were coming to even view the place. Weren't there signs that someone can see and point at and say, this building may collapse someday?
Yes, there may be signs, depending on the kind of failure. You understand?
Okay.
But the kind of failure that happened now, there might have been some little signs.
Like
but if you don't have professionals there.
Yes.
So
there may
notice
be
the signs.
Yes, there may be blistering, maybe on the columns. You see the concrete chipping up.
Okay.
You know, that means that column is under stress.
Okay.
Though the concrete is tripping off. You know, like I say, a developer will say, okay, you just call one bricklayer, go and patch it up, you know. If a structural person, you know, that knows his onions is on that side, he will know that this column is failing. You understand? So like that thing, that building, the way it came down, it's a foundation of column failure. It came down.
Hey.
You understand? That means that load is just too much
for the
foundation of the soil. And it's unfortunate because, like I said, people have to answer questions.
Yes.
21 story in lieu of 15 story. You know, 6 story, additional 6 stories. Now nobody will tell me, no government officials see that
exactly
or saw it coming. You understand? And then I learned there was a time the governor sealed up the site. So what happened? When did they unseal it? What happened? Have they ensured everything is in order?
So
you understand? So
that means they even went behind the governor.
Well, we don't even know.
To do
yes.
If the governor, he would not have.
Because something must have led the governor
not to seal it.
Yes.
Then the governor will call the professionals. Please check this thing because you understand.
He has to come down hard on them.
The governor is not a civil engineer. It's not a structural engineer. So maybe some engineers in the ministry or something must have given the governor the go ahead to unseal the site.
Don't worry, it's fine. It's okay. It will carry it.
They have questions to answer. And let me say this: civil servants, mostly they are the problems of Nigerian society.
Are you sure they'll make heaven?
Please go on.
You understand?
Tell us.
Because nobody will tell me money has not exchanged hands
for this to happen.
For this thing to happen. So I think head must roll.
Yes.
Heads must roll.
Heads must roll. Yes.
Not one head.
The governor has to investigate this thing. I learned he has ordered investigation to the matter. It's a very good thing.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
And let us see the result. Let us see the report of the investigation.
The prosecutions, the
Let's see those people that are involved. Then let them get prosecuted.
Make it an
open thing.
Yes.
What if you don't make it open thing? You know, like the ones that have happened. We've not seen any result. We've not seen anything. Nobody has been sent to jail. You know?
Yes. But, you know, there was a viral video I saw when the owner of the building was talking about the people he brought. In fact, he brought some Italians.
Yes, they are maybe furniture architects. They are the best in Europe. I don't think those are the structural people.
Yes.
Yeah. Like the structural consultant, I saw a letter he wrote to him that they are withdrawing their services because they can't work together based on some things.
Yes.
Writing that letter to the client is not enough.
Okay.
Oh, what else?
Please tell us.
You should inform the government agency that's supervising the project that because of so reasons you are withdrawing. Yes, you can't just say that man is a developer. You can just see your letter, don't mind these people. Keep it aside. But if you had informed the supervising agency, government agencies backed by law, they will have come. What are the reasons? If the reasons are genuine, they put a stop to that building. They can even bring the building down. You understand? Losing some amount of millions is better than losing lives. You know, you can't compare those lives to money. So it's unfortunate.
Let's take a short break. When we come back, we have a correspondent on the site to give us her story. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
At TVC Communications, we're all about our audience. Millions of viewers, listeners, and readers every day all around Nigeria.
Our 2 TV stations are among the most watched in Nigeria.
TVC News is our award-winning 24-hour national and international news channel headquartered here in Lagos, broadcasting live from our custom-built state-of-the-art news headquarters.
TVC, the top-rated family entertainment channel, is the place for fun, music, and information. With our breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria, the all-female chat show, Your View, the best soaps and dramas from Nolly, Bolly, and Hollywood, music and entertainment blast, courtesy East Flash, and of course, award-winning news and current affairs. It is all here.
With News Bureau and studios around the country and the ability to go live anywhere, anytime, we are first for breaking news in Nigeria. Awarded the NMMA TV Station of the Year, TVC News is the station of choice for news that is first, accurate, balanced, and reliable every time. TVC and TVC News watched by over 4.5 million people in Nigeria every day on terrestrial, DTH, DTT, OTT, and available to viewers in the UK on Sky TV. Watch all of our world-class programs on TV, online, and on our app. TVC and TVC News, the best entertainment and news for Nigeria on TV and online.
And when you can't watch us, listen to us. 102.3 Max FM Lagos and 90.9 Max FM Abuja are now ranked among the most listened to radio stations in Nigeria.
Now, with over 1.5 million listeners every day, we're the people's favorite radio station. Best hit music, best on-air talent. Max 102.3 hit music for Lagos and Max 90.9 hit music for Abuja. We are your home for that fun, entertainment, and hit music.
In Lagos, TVC, our leading family entertainment TV channel, has a 47% market share. But this is just the start of our journey, as we plan to add even more services to entertain and inform our ever-growing audience. Thanks for being part of the TVC communications story.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked, and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move way in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
How we're doing, guys? Is the makeup in progress? Makeup.
Check.
Are the scripts on the prompter? Script.
Check.
Are we set in the PCR? All team in place? PCR.
Check. Clock is ticking, time is racing, lights are. Plans all set. 120 minutes of hot entertainment. We are ready for the mission.
More effect. I have exciting news for you. You asked for it and you got it. Your favorite breakfast show, Your View, will be going to 2 hours. We're going to have in-depth analysis of the newspaper review and more conversations on the hot topics. The ladies of Your View and I will be stirring up our guests to get an in-depth into all the various topics, and you, our viewers, will have the opportunity to call in and share your views. After all, it's your view. Join us on Your View, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. for a fantastic conversation. Don't miss it.
How we're doing, guys? Is the makeup in progress? Makeup.
Check.
Are the scripts on the prompter? Script.
Check.
Are we set in the PCR? All team in place? PCR.
Check. Clock is ticking, time is racing, lights are. Plans all set. 120 minutes of hot entertainment. We are ready for the mission.
How
Thanks for staying with us. So we have our TVC correspondent on the line, Sarah Ayeku. Good morning, Sarah. Good morning, Sarah. Can you hear me? Okay, there's a bit delay. Good morning. Okay, can you kindly tell us what is happening?
Hear you.
Yeah, can you tell us what is happening at the site right now? The location of the accident.
Okay, so let me just give you...
Go ahead.
Yeah, so of course, now, the situation at this moment is that you have this place swarmed with people, journalists, family, friends of those who are trapped in the building, and some other spectators, people that have been here from Monday afternoon till this moment. So you have them all swarmed up here, trying to get a side of the story and see if some persons were rescued from the rubble. And so what we have now is that according to the National Emergency Management Agency, the official here, that state coordinator here in Lagos, he has confirmed that you have the casualty figure still stands at 4. So we have 4 persons have been confirmed dead, while 5 have been taken to the hospital that's in Odo, here on the island. And so that's the figure that we have now, although there are some other conflicting figures. But the official figure that we have now from the National Emergency Management Agency is that 4 bodies were recovered, while 5 were rescued yesterday. The last person that was rescued here was rescued at about 11 p.m., some minutes after 11 p.m. last night. And so what is going on right now is the search and rescue operation is still ongoing. So if you look straight up ahead, you see that here they say they have about 4 excavators here, trying, of course, to see if they can get people out. We also know that they've been hearing voices. They've been trying to communicate with people who are trapped under the rubble. They still communicated with them this morning. And they said they had voices, and they've been able to speak with some persons this morning. And these persons, for now, they're trying to engage less with this person so that these persons can conserve their energy, because they do not know for how long this operation will last because of the complexity and the situation. If you look at the streets, now this estate, some sort of estate, you see that it's a bit narrow, difficult for emergency responders to actually take in their heavy-duty vehicles to see if they can rescue people. So for now, that's what we're seeing, and we see that the police officers, of course, are trying to ensure and control the crowd.
So, do we have any figure to the number of persons still trapped inside? Do we have, can you hear me, Sarah? Do you know the number of people still trapped inside? The number of people still trapped inside?
I can hear you.
Did you get the question?
So we had asked the state coordinator for NEMA if he could give us a number to ascertain the persons that are inside, a number of some sort or an identity of those who are inside. He said for now he cannot give us that figure. So now they are still keeping that under the wraps. They don't want some sort of speculations to be going on around the area. So we do not know how many persons are trapped for now, even though there are speculations as to the number of persons, but we do not know. We cannot say, since there is no official statement yet. But what we know is that search and rescue operations are still ongoing. We're expecting that we'll see the permanent secretary for the health ministry is going to be visiting some the victims, that's the survivors now, at the hospital in Odon. We also know that the recovered bodies have been taken to Bagada General Hospital. So for now, we're just waiting our fingers crossed. Earlier, we saw some family members angry. You know, they were really angry. They're not really happy about the what they call the slow pace of work, search and rescue operation that has been ongoing here. And they are hoping that LASEMA, NEMA, Red Cross, and other emergency responders would, of course, speed up. But then, on the other hand, the emergency responders cannot speed up because of the complexity. Don't forget, this is a 21-story building. It's not a 3-story building where you could just get to ground zero. So it's difficult for them to take off all that pack of blocks that you see there. So it's going to be a long time, probably a long time before we can get some news. But for now, we're still waiting. Everybody here was still waiting and hoping that these persons will be rescued.
The direction that the voices are coming from, can they go in there? at least to try and save some lives.
Sarah, did you hear her? Repeat your question, Waike.
I said the direction that they are going through, that they heard the voices, can they go there immediately?
Trace their voices, you mean? There's a delay.
So from what we heard from some eyewitnesses and some persons around, people that saw this happen, they said that the construction workers had come in Monday afternoon. So, and they were, of course, going about their normal duties because this building is still under construction. So for now, they're still trying to trace the location of the voices that they've heard, which is what we heard. And that's why you see that there are 4 excavators. As at 7 a.m. this morning, 2 more excavators came in. So now we have a total of 4. For now, they cannot really tell us where they're hearing the voices from. And of course, they're not allowing us in to manage, to control the crowd. Because if we all decide to go in, it could jeopardize the safety of the persons in there and also our own safety. So the place is cordoned off. You see that they're not allowing us into that place for us to clearly ascertain or determine where these persons are speaking from. But we know that the
Sarah, we have another question for you.
Are communicating with the people in the building that's under the rubble, and they're just hoping that they will be able to get them as quick as possible.
Sarah, I was going to say, and I'm seeing it right now, that I noticed that some of the victims are being carried by hand and legs. And I was wondering if there are ambulances there, if there are stretchers, if there are nurses and doctors or paramedics right there around your locations, or are they still using people to drag these people out when they get them out, to carry them on their backs and on their, holding their hands and their legs?
That particular video you saw was yesterday.
Yeah, so she can confirm if that's what's happening today.
Okay. Sarah, did you get that?
Yeah, I think so. So if I get what you're saying, so what you're saying is if we have enough emergency responders like nurses, doctors, and like the Red Cross. Of course, we have the Red Cross here. We have them all around. We have an ambulance. There are some of them inside over there. And so they're just waiting to see if some other emergency responders can bring up some other persons out, from the rubble. So for now, manpower, according to NEMA officials, they have enough, because this place is actually choked up. You can't really have so many people, in that space, because any mistake could jeopardize the whole search and rescue process. So they're trying to minimize the number of persons that go in there. So only officials are allowed to go in there. So we know that there are medical staff just there waiting to see if they'll be able to rescue some persons and they can give their first aid to these victims. So for now, we're just waiting. Really. And it's harrowing and disturbing for the family and friends, for those who have worked with some persons trapped in there. So it's going to be a long day.
Sarah, I'm worried. Sarah, I'm worried about the crowd there. I'm just worried that there are so many people there. Is the police doing anything to sort of control that crowd and condone some areas off so that the paramedics will have access to take these people out? Or everybody's just standing like that?
Yeah, of course, it's difficult to control the crowd because earlier, we got here at about 7 a.m., this whole street of Gerrard Road was cordoned off. So you have the people that were here all through the night were told to stay behind the cameraman. So for now, because of the way the situation is, people are just apprehensive. They just want to see this operation over and done with. So that's why you have a number of persons here right now. The police, they've been trying to chase people away, tell them to stay behind the cordon line, the space, that's the median. They've been asking people to move, but it's difficult to get people to move because people just want to get people saved, which is what is on their mind, while the police is trying to control the crowd. So that's what you're seeing right here. So we also want to get in there and see what is going on, but the police have been able to manage us to stay on just on one line here on Gerrard Road.
Thank you so much, Sarah. We'll take a short break now. We'll expect more updates from you. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right back.
At TVC Communications, we're all about our audience. Millions of viewers, listeners, and readers every day all around Nigeria.
Our 2 TV stations are among the most watched in Nigeria.
TVC News is our award-winning 24-hour national and international news channel headquartered here in Lagos, broadcasting live from our custom-built state-of-the-art news headquarters.
TVC, the top-rated family entertainment channel, is the place for fun, music, and information. With our breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria, the all-female chat show, Your View, the best soaps and dramas from Nolly, Bolly, and Hollywood, music and entertainment blast, courtesy E-Splash, and of course, award-winning news and current affairs. It is all here.
With news bureau and studios around the country and the ability to go live anywhere, anytime, we are first for breaking news in Nigeria. Awarded.
Thanks for staying with us. We're still talking about the collapsed building in Ikoyi, and I would really love Nigerians to call in and give us their thoughts. So you can join the conversation on 08127053687 or 09139076948. So back to Mr. Abiodun. You've seen the video. You've seen what is happening.
Yes.
How do you respond to it?
Well, first of all, look at the access to that site. The access to that site is narrow. If it's in an open field, you can possibly have more equipment, you know, rescuing or doing their job from each other's side. But now we have one access, and those spaces for those people to walk. And then the rescue have to be careful, because putting the safety of those people inside that place at jeopardy again is another thing. You know, there's some people that are still alive, so you can't just rescue anyhow. Begin to, you know, you have to be careful so that those people that are still alive will not be killed.
Well, I also understand that
yeah.
because this is, we're talking of concrete and
Yes.
how heavy these
Concrete
boulders
are heavy.
are.
They
You
are
have
not
to be
furnitures,
careful.
you know.
So it will take days.
It will take days to complete that, to get to ground zero of that building. You know, this is a floor.
Yes.
Now 21. So, and it's not a tea party. You know, it's not something you can do in 2-3 days. Especially when you don't have enough space to bring in more equipment and you know,
Because,
to
like you said,
continue the rescue.
It's narrow.
It's narrow. It's narrow.
It's narrow. So
There's some excavators that cannot enter that.
Everything about the building
It's
is
just wrong. It's just
No?
so wrong. But let's take this call from Damilola. Damilola from Ikeja, good morning.
Good morning. Hello?
We can hear you, sir. You're live.
Okay, yeah. I mean, this is so very sad. And I want to say condolences to those who have been affected by this terrible situation. But you see, the foundational thing I want to say is about our conscience as a people. You see, it cuts across both the professionals, the architects, the builders, the engineers, and then the developers who are mostly business-minded people who are always concerned about profit. Then the government also, which are supposed to uphold regulations and sanctions for building like this. I mean, these things happen almost every 2 to 3 years in Nigeria. Apart from the smaller collapse that we have, I mean, big issues like the collapse like this happens every 2, 3, 4 years. Then, how do you want our graduate engineers to now go abroad and have opportunities? Because CNN carry this news. So our industry cannot be trusted. So we as a people, we lack conscience. Why? Because the engineers who cut corners, the developer who is concerned about profit, the government personnel who collect bribe, and all of the last is because we lack conscience, because we don't understand that human beings are going to be the casualties of cutting corners, of not upholding professional codes and ethics. So I don't know where we want to start from, but I think where we will start from is looking at ourselves in the mirror and see that as a people, something is wrong with our conscience. because we don't value human life. When you collect bribe as a government officer, the aftermath of it is that people are going to suffer. As an engineer, if you don't uphold your code of ethics, people are going to suffer. A developer that you prioritize profit above standard, people are going to suffer. So it's
Thank you so much, Damilola. Let's take another Damilola from Abeokuta. Good morning, Damilola. Good morning, Damilola. I think we lost that
I need
call.
to ask you a question because I can see that as they are excavating, they are using a hose to put water. Why is that?
No, it's just to reduce the effect of dust, you know.
Okay.
That place is dusty. And you can see from that rubble now, you know, the standard of material used in building that house. You know? Because that is part of the major causes of building failure. When you use substandard materials, you know, and that is because you want to cut corners.
So you're saying the texture of the rubbles show that
yes,
it's
without
substandard?
rubbles. You know, when you have concrete that collapse, then you want to pick concrete. You know, you can pick a beam that is as long as this place to that place. You understand?
Yes.
But now having, you know, just like sands, dust, you know.
Cool.
No.
Let's quickly take this call, sir. Captain Abe from Ikoyi. Good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning, ma'am. Thank you for letting me. Just want to have a quick contribution to what the gentleman has said, and he's spoken very well. And the issue we have in Lagos, I think, is the lack of consequence management on the part of government officials. I expect that by today, His Excellency will be sacking some people, going through proper process, and they will be going to trials and all of that at the end of the day.
Sure.
So that people can learn, and then those that are going about messing the government up will know that there are consequences for their actions. People have died. So all of us should shed a tear this morning, especially for people that have died, sadly. And 21-story building coming down in Lagos, in Ikoyi, in 2021. And we're seeing it on Al Jazeera, on CNN. It's disgraceful. So those that are responsible should be held accountable. That's my contribution. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Captain Abe.
So I was just going to even ask that when things like this happen, what are the legal-wise, what are the things that are set up immediately to start to investigate people who are involved?
Yes.
And then the engineers society, are they also involved in this investigation, and what are the steps that they should start taking?
Yes. You know, when this kind of a thing happens, investigations are conducted, committees are set up. So depending on the people that are involved, like in the case of synagogue the other time, you know, government set up a committee, the Council for the Regulation of Engineers, they're involved, NEBRI, they are involved. So now, we don't know people that are involved in the construction of this building, at least for now. So that investigation will now bring out those that are involved. Are they professionals? Did they follow the code and ethics of engineering practice? Do you understand? So then, from their investigation, the report will be out. Then those people that are corporates will be shown. Then they make to face the music. Then, just like I said before, the government officials, Lagos State government have to be on their foot.
And fish them out.
Yes. Not only on this one. To avoid the future occurrence like this.
Let's quickly take this call, sir. Omolara from Abuja. Good morning, Omolara.
Sorry. This is another sad one. It's a very sad one. The issue, I just want to contribute. My opinion is that it's like we lost it in this nation. We don't have conscience. We don't have value for life. We are after money. Everything for money. Everything. Go to the ministry. Before they pass your file, you have to pay. You want to get a contract, you just have to pay. We don't have conscience.
No, we don't.
There needs, in fact, the government needs to take this thing up. There needs to be a forensic investigation. Who is the architect that designed this the building? Who is the structural engineer that determined the load that needs to be that needs to be erected? Yes. Who is the architect? Did they have a state surveyor on site? Who are the people? Who is the supervisor? And even the owner of the building, who is always after profit and money. We just need to talk to each other as a country. Let's have a round table. Let's have a discussion. Let's look at the mirror and look at each other. Do I need to do this for profit? Always after profit.
Thank you, Omolara. Thank you so much. Let's take another call. Hassan from Lekki. Good morning, Hassan.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, sir.
Morning. This is very sad. Why is it that corruption is our first name, second name, and third name in this country? What we are seeing now is the handwork of corruption. If we don't kill corruption, corruption will kill Nigeria. Look, government is not up and doing. Say it loud and clear. Our engineers are sellouts. The people responsible for the control and for the monitoring of structure in Nigeria, in Lagos City in particular, have failed us. This is corruption. Let me tell you, most of the homes we see in Lekki, they are just near copies. Because some, I saw them from the time of the inspection of those buildings. They leave the park. They engineer because they wanted to accumulate money. They want to make money. You understand? They threw away conscience to the background to make money and allow the work to take time. They are just on the side, just for the sake of being on the side. In Lekki here, with so many structures, and you are seeing the typical aspect of what is happening now. The government authorities look elsewhere because of money. The engineers are out to make money. They are not concerned about the solidity of the building. No, they are not concerned about that.
Thank you so much, Hassan. Thank you. My pain is the fact that our government is not proactive. So, for instance, you want to give approval for a place like Ikoyi,
yes,
where you know that naturally the main design was to have very low bungalows and at least one-story building, and you want to give approval of 15-story. Why don't you even recommend the companies? So they come to you and say, we want approval for 15 stories here. And you say, if you need to build this, we can only recommend you to build from this construction company that you can verify and make sure that everything is standardized.
Yes.
Why don't you do that as a way of, control?
Yes, they may not even make recommendations, but they will ask you, who are the builders? Who are the contractors? What are the capacities? Do they have the competence and capacity to carry out this kind of project? What are the projects they have done? That tells you they can do this. You understand? Based on their experiences.
Yes.
So all those things, you understand? That's why I say we need to find out those that are involved in the construction of this building.
And something to just answer to BC, many times here, when we talk about construction work being done, we always accuse the government of relying on a particular company. Or only the Oyimbos can handle this. Only this particular company can handle this. And maybe it is because of things like that.
Yeah.
That when our own Nigerians are involved in doing something as important as erecting a building that will have many families. Imagine if families have moved into this building. So maybe they have seen things over the time and they are saying, okay, government is sending back to us. We don't trust you. We don't trust that you would make sure you follow the due protocol and maintain standard without cutting corners, without disregard for human lives.
Yeah.
You see, and there comes a point where we have to understand that money is not everything. And every day we see it in so many ways. But this one is just such a glaring example.
It's like,
they say when something happens to you once, it takes a while and then your karma will come. But this is like immediately, this is the repercussions of when you do not do the right thing and you accept money instead of just doing what is right.
Miriam, I want to disagree with you. I want to disagree with you because my partner is an architect. And I know how, when he's constructing, and he also builds. When he's there, I know the work he puts into constructing and making sure the integrity of the building
is not compromised.
Is not compromised.
Yes.
So we have them here. Let us look for them. I want to agree with Obiajulu when she says, know the people, know the companies.
Know the companies.
That's what I'm saying.
For such a project.
That don't compromise on integrity.
Yes.
Start to investigate your own people who keep on collecting so that who collect money on the side, who will collect settlement. So you can't, you will not make profit because you are settling government people. Start to do all that. Until we start putting all those things in place, things are not going to go, because I can't say, I will never be saying, be using Oyibo, because I know that we have people
here.
But you have
abroad,
people.
so.
Let's say one other thing.
Okay.
Is it possible to find the people that gave approval for this building?
Why?
Yes, now it's very possible.
They
are
the
signatures on the
to
approvals.
bring out and hand them to us to see.
There are signatures on the approvals.
Let's take a short break. When we come back, the conversation continues. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move way in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be. Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move way in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
Come closer. A little bit more. Perfect. I have exciting news for you. You asked for it and you got it. Your favorite breakfast show, Your View, will be going to 2 hours. We're going to have in-depth analysis of the newspaper review and more conversations on the hot topics. The ladies of Your View and I will be stirring up our guests to get an in-depth into all the various topics, and you, our viewers, will have the opportunity to call in and share your views. After all, it's your view. Join us on Your View, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. for a fantastic conversation. Don't miss it.
Bad news. We can't keep continuing like this. This is what you have been talking about yesterday. This implication of corruption. This is exactly what we are seeing in our very eyes. This is not a question of he's from my church, he's from my mosque, he's Yoruba, he's Igbo. Now, the victims have now lost their lives. They are gone. And like the engineer said, this is avoidable. Everything, if we keep continuing like this, it will keep getting worse. So why don't we leave this rubbish in the board now? It has cost lives, it has cost families, it has cost the economy. The people that have gone are gone. So please, I don't know. Good morning.
Good morning, Dr. Moyo. Thank you so much. I personally believe that this fight is our fight.
Of course.
And if we don't do something about this fight, we will keep having this, and we pray that it doesn't come near our dwelling. You know, it's easier when it happens to somebody else or somebody that is related to you than when it comes very close to you. Yeah. Why don't we as Nigerians, so for instance, you are a contractor and you're the sort of person that gets directly from the government, and then some officials are asking you for bribe. Why don't we start by calling out those officials that ask us for bribe? Why do we keep quiet? Because we want to come back next year and do the same contract.
That's the problem. You know, when you want to get a job from government, for instance, there are a lot of
red tape.
Yeah.
You understand? Then, generally, I want to say, construction industry is the most polarized industry in Nigeria. You have a lot of quacks. I tell you, I know of someone that learned a printing job. He learned printing work, when he was young. But now I met him inside, he's an engineer. No, I don't know how people, you gather, you work for millions. You want to invest it in a building, then you can't get the right person to do it for you because you don't want to pay.
It's not only construction work. It's because you are in that business.
That's why you're saying
it. Let me tell you, I met a guy.
Quacks everywhere.
I knew a guy and his wife. They used to be, you know, when you say dental assistant, they are not dentists. Dental assistant in America. They brought equipment back to Nigeria and started
and became
dentists.
So that's the problem.
Let's quickly take this call from Yinka. Yinka from the UK. Good morning.
Thank you. Good morning. This is very sad and very pathetic.
I'll say that again.
Let me say my condolences to all families that are involved. But let me put a very good information on your table. The man that represented the engineers there, I want to ask him a very vital question. What was their organization doing looking at that building when it was on the 4th floor, 2nd floor, 4th floor to that level? What action did you take with the government saying it would not be? 2, look at the entrance to that building. Is that fair enough? So that story building, having just very short and close up things, and the engineers, what they call your name, Gail, when looking at issues like that. The last one, let me be honest with you. You know when you have that anything like that, even in the road, the main road, by the time you are taking every truck, like payloader or grader, by the time they are checking the ground, it will crumble such a building. It is human error. Forget about correction. Money has been lost, life has been lost. But the fact remains, engineering girls, what were you doing in a standing like this where it's full of water, Ikoyi, and they do German floor? In this country, when you want to build a building like this, you will need to put the first 3 floors under the soil so that they will stand, not on the surface of the ground. This is unfair. It's only in Nigeria that every method or technical issues are not working. I don't know why. I just don't know why. Thank you. It's very pathetic.
Thank you, Yinka. Thank you.
So he's calling you out?
Yes, he's calling us out. But, you know, in Nigeria, there are no regulations. We have Korean, we have Nigeria Society of Engineers. At times, when they even make recommendations to government, do they carry them out? Like I said, there are quacks everywhere. We made reports. We make sure everybody that wants to build, hire professionals, government. They don't do anything about those things. And then, what will Korean do? They are not invited. Maybe Korean president doesn't even know that this building is going on in Lagos. You understand? So you can't just come to someone's side and say, stop, let me come and investigate. Investigation costs money. So who brings in the money? No. So it's the responsibility of the government to make sure things are done right. Okay, if you are not sure, you can now call Korean. You can now call NSC. When Governor Fashola was in governor, there was some contract he issued out to some politicians. But he made sure the Nigerian Society of Engineers supervise them. They issue certificates before they get paid. You know, those are the things.
So it's just somebody doing due diligence. That's all we need.
Yeah. He doesn't want to collect the job from the politicians so that he doesn't have issues with them. But he makes sure the job are well done. You know, it's important. It's important government start on its own and regulate this industry.
It seems like
that's why we continue to have this kind of
You tie a road that's supposed to be for 20 years.
And in 2 years.
It will not even last 2 years. 1 year.
See the cement.
Because they will be using water and tar.
Okay, so I understand what you're saying about government, but sometimes is it that we're giving excuses and passing the buck? Do we know, what would be, can the NSC just, is it part of, their setup that they have maybe investigators?
Yes.
To just, maybe if you even live in the same society, in the same community as a building is being erected.
If you see anything, you can report.
Yes, you can go in and check.
It's there, in Korean. Yes, you can, but when you report,
yes.
Do they take action? Okay. You are not. If NSC make a report to government, it's not NSC that will go and take that action. It's the government. Yes. We don't have security. We don't have police. It's the government that will take action. But when they now get there, whatever happens, we don't know.
Okay. So recently they're talking of the government.
So that is why we don't even know who are the engineers. There are a lot of people that I would call engineers that they don't even study engineering. You understand? So that's why government has to be on the toes to ensure the industry is monitored. ensure people that are competent, handle those projects.
Let's quickly take this call. Theophilus
It's not a
from Makurdi,
bungalow.
then I'll come to YK. Good morning, Theophilus. Good morning. Okay. YK, you wanted to say something?
No, even masons, they will call engineers.
Yes, carpenters.
You were giving us the story of the dentist. Please, have they caught the person?
Caught, okay. I think the person has packed back to America when he had destroyed how many people's mouths.
So we have recently we even took it today, the Abuja, the clinic for the
presidency.
The presidency.
Oh, yes.
Yes. And they mentioned that Julius Berger would be erecting and handling that building.
Yes.
And for me, it's like government saying that these are the people we can trust to maintain standards. Even though we have Nigerians who are good architects,
you will see that even Julius Berger, they make use of Nigerians.
Good. So we have all those people who are good. But do we have the experience of building 21-story buildings? Do we have engineers that have that experience? Do we have them for building like stadia like across the world? We see these massive buildings that they are really called skyscrapers.
Oh, yes.
Would we say in Nigeria we have those caliber of engineers and people involved in building?
There are, their mental capacity, their technical capacity. Then there are, in terms of equipment and all sorts, you understand? So someone that wants to build a 21-story building, at least you have to, you get a yard. Where are your equipment? Where are the cranes? You can't just want to build a 21-story building with wheelbarrow and headpans and all sorts. So it's not only about technical capacity. Experience is very important.
Yes.
Someone that has not built a 5-story building, you can't just hand him over to 21-story building without maybe a backup.
Like a collaboration with another.
You understand? Now, as a person, you can get a 21-story building as a contract, but make sure you have a collaboration with people that have technical capacity in terms of equipment.
But do engineers collaborate? Do they work together?
It's very important. I'm a civil engineer.
Okay.
I don't test soil. If I get a job from a client, I know the first thing is to test the soil. I will contact the professional technical person in charge of that thing to do it, give me the result, and hand it over.
That's not the sort of collaboration I mean. So collaboration is in the sense that we have a job to do. So somebody comes to you and you say, my capacities can only take me to this level, but I want to work with this company and this company.
Oh, yes.
And they bring you together and you do that
Yes,
job.
it's possible. We do it. Like this Tomiland Bridge, you see, the Julius Berger built it, we all know. But it's another company that built the foundation, Trevi Foundation.
Okay.
But, they bring them in after completing the foundation and the piers. Then the Julius Berger will do the road way. You understand? So it happens, even in smaller projects too.
Yes.
I don't know this thing well, let me call someone,
We like to take on things that we cannot do in this part of the world. You know everything. You want to do.
That is why I say the government agency. I'm not passing all the bucks on government.
Yes.
But they have the capacity to monitor, to ensure things are well done.
Yes.
Is the engineer on this side competent? They will know. Let us see his record. Let's see what he has done. You understand? This person cannot handle this job. Get someone else.
I was going to ask, you see, because there are a lot of developers now in Nigeria.
A lot.
This particular one, I watched an interview where he was on TVC where he was saying he had done in Dubai.
Yeah, he had done South Africa. Yes, I saw it too.
In London. Now, I know that there's no way...
You can't cut corner in those places.
He cannot. He will not have been able to.
You can't cut corner. In that place, the government cannot give you approval for 15 floor buildings.
You put
and then
15
you can't even build 1/4 of 16th on it.
Yeah.
It's not possible. But here, we know how we are. The corruption is the problem of this Nigeria, and if you don't sort it...
Because we keep saying the developer is just to make money, his own is to make money.
They are to make money, but it's because they have the free... Yes. Integrity is the most important. Put the life of the people that want to live in that house. No, the number one priority. But when they know in Nigeria they can do anything, it's not government people. When they come, don't worry, we'll sort to... Because I've been on site, they will come, they will seal it. I've been on site in this Lagos, they seal the site because they said, okay, this is what you are supposed to build. You have defrauded in this area. Yeah. Okay. the owner, developer went to them,
They won't seal.
They will even call you, remove this thing.
Yokuro.
Yokuro, because you understand. They are not coming back to check if you are now conforming with what they ask you to do.
They've moved on.
But
and sometimes I've seen sealed projects with work still going on. The sign that you're sealed is there, and work is still going on.
Is it supposed to be so? No. They're not supposed to be working on the seed site. But they know when they have already settled them and nothing.
All right, let's take this
happens.
call. Mike from Wales. Good morning, Mike. Good morning, Mike. We've lost him. So I think it's becoming like a sad song. Sing song, sing song. Every day we sing corruption, we sing greed.
Yes.
We sing. What do you think we can do as ordinary Nigerians? So we like to bring it back to what we can do in our own little corner to ensure that you're not taking a name that is not your name. You're not a quack. So let me give you an example. I remember when I started my, talking about relationships, I used to call myself a love expert. Okay, good morning. Good morning,
Hello,
Mike.
can you hear me? Hello?
You're live, sir. Go ahead.
All right. Yeah, thank you. Like the engineer said, he said, like in the UK, that they won't give you approval for 15 floors and then you'll be adding 1 floor. Even just to extend your backyard by just 1 inch, you need to go and get an approval because if you try to extend it without that approval, you'll be in trouble.
True.
Our problem is that we cut corners everywhere. There is a road between Songo and Ijoko. That road is in a place they call Plaza. They constructed that road. We all saw the road like this. It rained overnight. And by the time we get there the next morning, there is no road. I'm not joking. This is not a joke. Go to Plaza today and ask somebody. The road is just opposite that Plaza junction. And disappear after rainfall. We are killing ourselves with this corruption. And the earlier we start to punish people, the earlier that there's consequence for people's action, the better for us. Because a mistake of an engineer can cause a life of.
Thank you so much, Mike. Yeah, let's take another call. Perpetua from Agor Palace. Good morning, Perpetua.
Yeah, hello.
Hi,
good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, thank you. Very well. Your guest has actually spoken so very well. Yeah, that's number 2. That's number 1. Number 2, I would actually like to say one thing. I think the conversation we should be having right now is consequences, immediate consequences.
Yes.
Because our justice system takes a very long time to deal with people who circumvent contracts. Now you do these things at the detriment of people's lives. Now, I mean, look at where we are today. Ikoyi has been known as an high-growth area. So how can someone use substandard stuff to build? Come on now, come on. What are we doing? So I think what we should be discussing right now is immediate
consequences.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Perpetua.
When you do those things, you just kill them.
Yeah, thank you. So, I was quickly saying that I used to call myself a love expert.
Yes,
then I now read what it takes to be an expert. And I was like, Auntie, don't take a name that is not your name. And I dropped the name and I went back to school and I did my life coaching. So how do you think Nigerians can begin to try as much as possible to be qualified for what they want to do? How do we get to that point? And where do we move from here?
Well, why people practice what they don't know, why they do what they are not qualified, is because they see people that patronize them. Oh, yes. Because I can't imagine myself having like 500 million, I want to invest in a building. Then I engage a quack. You can't take 2% or 3% of that to make sure the thing is well done, that your money is protected. Do you understand? Some people want to build a house, give to a bricklayer. He has been building for 10 years. He has been doing this.
Or a draftsman.
There are different scenarios of environment. And then you can't say because he has done this, so it's the same thing that you did in Ikorodu, you want to do it in Lekki. or something that you did in maybe somewhere in the north of Ekiti, you want to do it in Ikoyi, it doesn't, you can't work like that. So that is why, if you don't patronize them, nobody will come out to say,
You'll be out
an
of
engineer.
business.
Yes, but it is because there is no regulation.
Yes, regulation.
If they get your side, okay, you are an engineer. What are your qualifications? Where have you worked? Where have you worked?
done?
And you can, they take you in. Tomorrow you won't come out to say you're an engineer. Others that are doing it, they will withdraw. You understand? But government don't care. They even give jobs to traders. And they don't know who
You're right. Because if we find police officers wearing fake police officers wearing the uniform, they are arrested. When we find fake doctors, they are arrested. But I don't think when it comes to real estate, really, because many people have constantly asked for the regulation.
Those ones who are saying, if a doctor makes a mistake, you maybe kill one person. Now, an engineer makes a mistake, you kill hundreds. So that is why that industry is very, very important to be monitored. A lot of people go down. Look at those people, 40-something or so, under that building. A doctor will just kill someone and come out of the clinic, sorry, we lost him. We don't even know if it's his mistake or something, we've lost him. But now, this one, everybody will see.
Some doctors, is their work,
You understand? Everybody will see. Everybody will see.
There are some like that.
People are dead.
You know me, my sister was a victim of incompetent doctors.
So the industry has to be monitored. And I want to advise individuals to try, pay professionals, let them do the job. So that you sleep with your two eyes closed. You don't have to be building, I'm not even sure,
Let's take your final thoughts. What do you think, YK? What should we do now? Where should we go from here?
I think that there should be stricter rules, stricter laws for these buildings. The people who approve this building, number one, all of them, we should see the punishments.
People should get punished.
We should see that punishment. We should hear it. That open panel they did for NSAS, do the same open, so that it will discourage other people who are coming along to come and start cutting corners.
Miriam.
If we don't stop cutting corners, we will not go forward.
Okay. Your final word, sir?
Well, my final word is to our individual, just like I've said, engage qualified professionals, qualified and competent. You may be qualified and not competent to handle some things. Qualified and competent. Then government should regulate construction industry. It's very important. You can't just put 50 people in a house and they die in a night,
Yeah, I just square pegs in round holes.
Oh, yes.
We should stop putting square pegs in round holes.
We should stop patronizing quacks.
Yeah.
We should stop patronizing quacks.
Thank you so much, Mr. Abiodun Ario. I hope that Nigerians will learn from this and find a way to curb corruption, and also want people to scream. Let's not allow this matter be swept under the carpet. Let's follow up. Let's shout about it till we see those people actually prosecuted for the lives that have been lost. That's all we can take on the show today. Thank you so much, ladies. Thank you, sir. Till we come your way again tomorrow. Bye-bye now.
The following is a paid presentation by ShopX TV.
Imagine